And I'm going to be on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. Je tiens à profiter de l'occasion pour reconnaître que nous sommes sur le territoire du traité numéro 1 et sur la terre ancestrale de people Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene, et de la nation Métis. To start today's ceremony off, I do want to start with an opening prayer from Elder Betty Ross, who is from Cross Lake First Nation and is a residential school survivor herself. Elder Ross retired from the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority in 2018 after 20 years of service as a spiritual and cultural care provider for Indigenous health and cultural initiatives. She now works at Seven Oaks School Division as elder in residence, covering 3 different schools, connecting with over 300 students a week. Please join me in welcoming Elder Betty Ross.
Good afternoon. Tapos minini din epewichika po istatago anuska gisigisirak. Egiut na gawat sistema gagi pemini gawian kita itna mo giseman tu. Winat te penawe kita saweni itago meni missewe kaise paski teni gatte ganus. Awassa gutse mina uskatsak. Good afternoon. Dignitaries, elders, everyone that's involved in this beautiful day. I'm so honored to be here today to offer the sacred tobacco to do an opening prayer for the center for our children and youth. I'm I really use my first language whenever I do opening prayers, and as many of the opening prayers that I do within this community, and I'm honored to do that, so I use my first language. As a residential school survivor of 2 systems and 1 day school. So I'm just so honored to be here today. So at this point in time, I want to ask you to close your eyes and go deep within the recesses of your being. There you will see an ember of light. Focus on that ember of light and be grateful for who you are and where you are today. I'm going to offer the sacred tobacco to the Creator for His blessings upon each and every one of us, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits, and to bless the center. I was saying giseman tu kinanas kumitnan anus kagi chigisigak. Mina pewa kawas tena mawiyak mina tatu tipiskaw kawas tena mawiyak utaski. Kima michi mitnan giseman tu kinigane ni mitnan anus kagi chigisigak. E paguseni mitay giseman tu kinat tipene kita pesa wenita man umagapaski te panikanuts. Nsawasi misnana gutsi uskatsak. Minanak ni musto minanak. Wista ota tapewas ka ni kapo itsi kanus ka gitsigisiga kita sa wenita gik umenyo. E kusani kiseman tu kinanas kumitnan kimamitsi mitnan. Mistake wan ka wiya kutaski kita ise minupmatsiak. Kaki kita sagi ituak tawichi ituak. Kita wastek ni mes kananan minite kati sikiyak kita wastek. E husiga ki utsipagit niya kuta kita pamatsiya kiseman tu. Kageno kita kakwes matsiya. Awawisi ng sawasimis nanak nusimi nanak tans kuta pananak awiya kutaski. Mito ni kinanas kumitnan kiseman tu. Nimusiya nanak nukuminanak nimusuminanak. Ewas ka ni kapawista ako kanus kagi chigisigak. Maga muna ni wapmananak. Egusani. Egusay pagusene mua kanus kagi chigisigak. Kaisi piskita ya wag misega genege kon kita saweni chigate kita wastek. Minagati o na viag utaul sinimes kanan tawasteg minagati tegati sigi viag niginan tawasteg kitawastes kamagaski. Ego sani ginanas kumitnan gimamitsmitnan gisagitnan kagike minagagike. Amen. Thank you very much. Ego sani.
Thank you very much, Elder Ross, for that wonderful opening and for your blessing. And thank you to your ancestors for welcoming my ancestors to this land 2 centuries ago. Thank you. And now it is my honor to introduce someone who's been a great friend to the Toba Centre. It is in her constituency of Tuxedo, and it is also, she is the Premier of this province. So I'd like to welcome Premier Heather Stephenson to the podium to make this wonderful announcement today.
Thank you very much, Minister Squires, and good afternoon, everyone. It's an incredible honor for me to be here with all of you today. All the dignitaries that are here, I think, just shows, and all the people from the community who are here, it just shows what an incredible support that we have behind this project in the community. And a big shout out to Christy for really spearheading this and getting this going, and to all of you who are involved in this. It's an incredible honor for us to be just a small part of this with all of you today. So the Toba Centre for Children and Youth, and excuse me, I just wanted to say, Elder Ross, thank you so much for the beautiful opening prayer. That was lovely and a wonderful way to set the tone for what we are doing here today, which is doing something that will be so precious for those most vulnerable youth in our community. So thank you. The Toba Centre for Children and Youth, Manitoba's only child advocacy centre, is dedicated to supporting our most vulnerable Manitobans, children who have been abused, with a wide range of wraparound supports. They work tirelessly to make sure children's voices are heard and that they have the supports they need to heal and move forward from their trauma. I want to commend Christy again and the whole team at the Toba Centre, as well as many community partners who are here with us today, who work alongside them for doing the hard work but critical work to support this very, very important cause for our community. This unique partnership includes family, communities, law enforcement, victim services, and child protection workers. Thank you for the care, compassion, and determination you show our most vulnerable citizens each and every single day. As a government, we are proud to partner with you to improve the lives of our children, our youth, and our families. And so it is my great honor to announce today, for the Toba Centre Capital Campaign, we will, for children, for families, for Manitoba, provincial contribution of $2 million. We are proud to be a part of this effort to create a new, exciting space for this work, increasing opportunities for healing and growth. I know all Manitobans join me in looking forward to seeing Toba Centre's new space come to life and providing our most vulnerable Manitobans with the best supports possible. And as we continue to move forward together from the pandemic and recover together, our government is committed to working collaboratively with our community partners to strengthen, invest, and build our province and provide hope and opportunity for all Manitobans. When we work together, as we can see today, anything is possible. Christy, again, thank you to you and all the work that you have done and all the work that your team continues to do. I look forward to coming back when this is fully in operation and being there with you on that day as well. So thank you all so much for allowing me and for my colleague, Minister Squires, to be here today to share in this incredible success story that you have all created. Thank you so much. Merci, miigwech.
Well, Well, thank you, Premier, for those wonderful words, and most importantly for that amazing announcement that is going to improve the lives of children and families in the province of Manitoba. Now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who has also worked tirelessly on helping build communities in the province of in the city of Winnipeg and the province of Manitoba, Mayor Brian Bowman.
Thanks very much, Minister, and good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here with all of the distinguished guests and speakers and everybody that I know is jammed in here. This is really an incredible day for our city and for our province. I'm absolutely honored to attend today's Toba Centre Capital Campaign launch called the We Will Campaign for Children, for Families, for Manitoba. The Toba Centre does absolutely critical work in our community, providing a safe space for child victims and their parents and caregivers at a time when they need that support most. To think that the victims being supported here are children, it's heartbreaking. However, the realization speaks to the importance that our community support the work of Toba Centre and the children that they support. The location here at 700 Assiniboine Park Drive, it's a tranquil site in a beautiful area surrounded by trees and nature. It's a peaceful place to welcome children and to provide them with a supportive space that offers a path to healing and to recovery. And with the connection this building has as a day school location for children who attended the Assiniboine Residential School many years ago, it's especially symbolic for this building to emerge as a place of hope for children now and into the future. The City of Winnipeg offers support primarily through the efforts of the Winnipeg Police Service, but the importance of this work here transcends jurisdiction, and there really is a role for all of us in our community and as governments. Much like how the City of Winnipeg supported the creation of the Bruce Oak Recovery Centre, we unanimously supported as a council the lease of this surplus building, allowing this space to become the new home for the Toba Centre. And I want to acknowledge and thank my council colleagues for that unanimous decision, some of whom are here today for that support. I'm also very proud to be the first to commit to the We Will campaign in the amount of $100,000 from my office budget. Every bit counts. And so, as today's capital campaign kickoff, I hope Winnipeggers will consider supporting the We Will campaign, because every child deserves to be safe, protected, and free from exploitation. Speaking as a father and as mayor who cares deeply about the residents of our community, we're really fortunate to have champions in our community like Christy and the Toba Centre Board of Directors who are passionate about their work caring for the vulnerable. I also want to acknowledge and applaud the provincial government's commitment today. So thank you, Premier, for this commitment. I'm like all of us here, I'm really looking forward to returning here one day when the efforts of everybody here and the community are realized with the renovations and work that happen here. So I'm really honored to be here today. Thanks for the opportunity to say a few words. Merci de me recevoir parmi vous aujourd'hui. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Mayor Bowman, for those words and that contribution. And we all know it was Mayor Bowman who got to meet the dogs firsthand at the airport. We were all envious, but it's a delight that today we all get to meet the dogs. Now it is my honor to introduce Grand Chief Garrison Setti to the podium to say a few words.
Tanse, itusanag niwagumaganag. First and foremost, I want to thank our elder for offering such a powerful prayer and making it very special for us because of the reason why we're here. And Christy, thank you so much for bringing us together to embark on this journey that is a very important journey for the children that we have in our societies that are most vulnerable. So it is incumbent for us to join you in this vision, because this is a vision that will no doubt impact the lives of many children. And First Nation children are also part of that scenario. So I'm very thankful. Madame Premier, it's always good to join you, and many conversations we had prior to your role discussing the welfare of our children and also First Nations children. I'm thankful that you're here to support this initiative. It's very meaningful for us. Thank you. And Minister Squires, I'm thankful that we can continue to work together to make life better for children in First Nation communities and also in the rest of the province. Mr. Mayor, I'm thankful that we had the opportunity to be here together with the colleagues that we strive to actually work together to make life better, and that the situation right now is dire, but it will be better because of our collaborative effort, and it will take a collaborative effort for us to reach that vision of protecting the children that are in need of much care. And I think that this is a very important journey for us First Nation leaders as well. Regional Chief Woodhouse is here, and we work together to make sure that we do our utmost. And it is incumbent upon all of us to ensure that a space is created for children who have been abused, who have been victimized, because we need to create that space for them to begin to heal, to begin to embark on a life that has been traumatic and painful. We have to allow them to heal, and the time is now. The time for them to heal is now, and I'm thankful that we're part of this. In a very small way, we're here, but I think that the future seems brighter for our children, and this is a very historic day. Thank you for making me part of it. Egusan, inaaskamit na.
Eklasani to you, Grand Chief, and thank you for all you do on behalf of vulnerable children in the province of Manitoba. Now it is my honor to introduce to the podium Regional Chief Woodhouse for a few words. Thank you.
Well, I'm super scripted today, but I'm not going to read from my script. I think yeah. So those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy Woodhouse. I'm the regional chief here for Manitoba with the Assembly of First Nations. I work very closely, of course, with my colleague that was just up here, Grand Chief Sati. Premier, thank you for your commitment to all of these young people and the commitment to this place. And to, our elder, my heart's with you of everything that you had went through. And to each and every one of you, Christy, for your work on all of this. Jennifer Wood's here, and I don't know where she is, but, I'm happy to see this place. And I'll just say this, I think from, I just come back from Rome. And, we went to see the Pope, and being in that room with him was very profound. And, I'm so glad that my friend and mentor, Phil Fontaine, was able to be our lead. I said, well, you're going for Manitoba. And I was proud of him for being so strong there after everything that many of you had went through, and that many of us later on when we went to day school, which I heard this was a day school at one time, that this is now changing into something different that's going to be a part of healing. But, being in Rome and listening to, it was a profound moment where there's so much work to do. And, Canada, we only have 36 million people. We have nobody, absolutely nobody to not be part of this country, this community, this province, and a part of our nations, because there's so much that we have to change the way that things are, the way that child welfare is in this country and in this province, and to change the way that we deal with victims and the after effects of the trauma that we've all encountered. Each and every one of us has been touched by trauma in one way or another. And so to see this place, I see, the RCMP here, the Winnipeg Police Service, I know you see it every single day. And so I'm glad to see all of us to be in this room together, trying to make a difference and trying to do something differently, because we can't keep going the same the same way. It's not working, and we see that. And so that's all I wanted to say today. Miigwech, thank you for having me here, and for each and every one of you for being here and being a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Regional Chief Woodhouse, for speaking from your heart and for being here today. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the woman who's brought us all together. Christy, please join me at the podium.
Hi, everybody. I am going to be scripted, because for those of you who know me, we'll be here for a day and a half if I don't. And I apologize, we couldn't make it spring outside, so we made it summer in here, because we're like melting. But I'll start by saying thank you so much, Minister Squires. Thank you, Premier Stephenson. We're incredibly grateful for this contribution and for the unwavering commitment we've seen from this government for our work and for the protection of children. Thank you, Mayor Bowman, for championing our cause to the city's support of our campaign and in helping us secure our new home. And Councillor Klein, who's back there, thank you for being here and for being an advocate for us as well. Elder Betty, it's so meaningful to have you here, and we look forward to your continued involvement with us. We will be richer for it. Grand Chief Sati, I'm so grateful you took the time to be here with us. And Regional Chief Woodhouse, thank you for your encouraging words. Having you both and your teams contribute your knowledge and wisdom to this development is critical. To our partners in law enforcement, thank you for being here. Chief Smythe, Chief Paulson, and Assistant Commissioner Mclaughlin, we couldn't be happier to be working with each of you and your great teams. I'm truly excited about what we're creating together. My team's here, they're wearing their Toba gear, swag. Say hi to them. I want to thank them for their critical role they play in helping children and families every day. Their commitment to doing all they can is really incredible. We also have members of our volunteer board of directors, our community council, and our capital campaign cabinet here. You'll hear from our campaign chair, Ken Talbot, in a moment. These folks are dedicating their time and their energy to making sure this development is successful. And to all of the donors who have joined the province in supporting our campaign thus far, thank you. That was just the thank yous. Sorry. I'm sorry. The We Will Capital campaign is being launched to facilitate the renovation of this building in the beautiful Assiniboine Park to be a new wraparound child abuse response center. We're creating a space where children and families impacted by abuse can come and have all of their needs met, where police, child protection, medical care, and the community supports can work together under one roof and each do their part. This development is long overdue. There are about 4,000 child abuse investigations in our province each year. That's a shocking number to many, but we know there are actually far more incidents that go unreported. While there are a lot of different reasons for that fact, one of those reasons is how challenging our system responses are today. The current responses involve numerous agencies in numerous locations, often working in silos. Imagine what that's like for a child or a parent or a grandparent to be dealing with unthinkable trauma and having to struggle to navigate complex systems and processes in order to be heard. To go from place to place and retell painful details. To quote one father, "What happened after the abuse was uncovered made us feel like victims all over again. There were a lot of kind people who spoke with us, but we never knew who we were going to talk to next, and we rarely saw the same person twice. Once people got what they needed from us to do their jobs, we didn't hear from them. We felt alone, like we were invisible, inadequate, or disposable. And all that time, I couldn't help thinking that those who hurt children and cause all this pain get more support than we do." Now we have an opportunity to build a new way of receiving families. This building will represent the welcoming arms of our community. So when children, youth, and their families are impacted by abuse, they can come here, and we as a community can say, "We've got you, we will walk with you, and we will stay until we restore what was taken from you." While this capital campaign announcement is about creating the physical space to do this work, it's really about so much more than a building. It's about building a community around children and families who are hurt. Police and child protection have critical roles to play, But for far too long, we have pretended that it's their job to heal children and families. It's not. As a community, it's ours. The people who investigate child abuse have important and difficult jobs. It's time for us as a community to walk with them too. This building and this new centre we are creating is an opportunity to invite our great community in to rally around hurt children and remind them of their worth. We know that there are people who do unspeakable things to children, and while we should always aim to prevent that, we know we can't always. What we can do is decide how we want to respond when a child is hurt. We are all here because we believe in children. They are strong, they are resilient, they can recover from anything. When a child has been victimized, our system responses are important. Criminal justice is important, but nothing is more important than investing in a child's resilience, because without healing, there is no such thing as justice. We know all too well that the impacts of child abuse can be devastating and lifelong, but they do not have to be. And as a community, we can change that story. To all of you and to the Manitoba community, we need you. The time for change is here, and the call to action is urgent. Children and families in our community cannot wait any longer. We do have a lot of work to do, but Manitoba is up for the challenge, and we know that we will soon have the most community-led and child-centered response to abuse in our country. Our children deserve no less. Again, thank you, Premier. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Christy, for everything you do, and the fact that this is a packed room is testament to the importance of Toba Centre in our community and a testament to the hard work of you and your team. So next, I would like to welcome Jane Mclaughlin, the Assistant Commissioner of the Rcmpd Division, to the podium.
Thank you very much, Minister. Elder Ross, I want to start by saying thank you for the prayer that got us going today. Premier Stephenson, Grand Chief Settee, Mayor Bowman, Regional Chief Woodhouse, Chief Smythe, Minister Squires, and everybody else who's, oh boy, it is a packed room. Honored guest, good afternoon. So I want to start by saying how pleased I am to be here today and how important I think today really is for Manitoba across the board. It's such an important announcement that was made. The Toba Centre for Children and Youth provides a service that's truly indispensable, particularly for me, for us as police in this province. If you think about what we do and our role, a policing role in the situation, tragically our officers are routinely called upon to investigate very difficult incidents that involve abuse and the victimization of children and youth. And these investigations are tough. They require everybody involved to be interviewed. And you think about that as an adult being brought to a police station somewhere and having to give a statement and all of that stuff. It's overwhelming and challenging even for an adult. For a child, it can be terrifying and really traumatizing. And that's why our officers have relied on the Toba Centre and the expertise that we find here to assist us on many incredibly difficult investigations. It really is a place where the crucial tasks we need to do as police, we can complete those as part of a thorough child abuse investigation, and we can do it in a way that's less frightening for the child and maintains a focus on the needs of the child and their family. Hugely important. It provides a safe place for children to tell their stories while providing them understanding, compassion, and expert supports. That wraparound that Christy was speaking about, I think it's, when you think about that, and what Christy said about the idea that they're seeing different people all the time, never the same, and they feel like they're being left alone, the victims and their families. That wraparound support they'll get in a place like this, and the fact that we as police can take them through the investigational process and then know that they will be supported after the fact really helps us do our work as well. So the Manitoba RCMP wholeheartedly supports the Toba Centre, and we're committed to be part of the Toba Centre team as it grows. Because I think being embedded in an environment and surrounded by child abuse experts will enhance our ability to provide sensitive and trauma-informed policing service to child victims and their families. So we're really excited to be part of this hugely important endeavor. So I want to thank all of the committed people, all of the folks of Toba Centre, yourself, Christy, you're the the leader of the group, I guess, and you're just doing a fabulous job. I want to thank you all for your vision and the impressive work you've done to create the Toba Centre. I'd also like to thank the province for today's announcement. I think that's going to help the Toba Centre expand so that together we can seek justice for child abuse victims while ensuring young survivors and their families are provided with all the resources they need to feel safe and start to heal. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those words. And next, I would like to invite Winnipeg Police Chief Danny Smythe to the podium.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. I learned when you're sixth on the program, you keep it brief, so I'm going to do that. The Winnipeg Police is really invested in this partnership, and we have been from the beginning. And there are a couple people that were really instrumental in making this happen at the beginning. People like Gord Perrier, John Burchill, Liz Pilcher and John Burchill. They were instrumental in helping establish Snowflake Place, and many of them sat on the board for Snowflake Place before Christy came along and saw a bigger vision. And I like what you've done with the place here, but I can see the vision in it, and certainly, we're very supportive of taking it to the next level of Toba Centre. We're very happy to continue to support the partnership and support the work you're doing and share the space, frankly. A lot of people don't know this space is actually our business continuity backup plans here, and Christy had the idea of really expanding Toba Place here, and she sold us. And it's a good initiative, and it's a space we're happy to share with her and happy to see where this goes in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief Smythe, and thanks to both Commissioner Mclaughlin and you, Chief, for everything that you do for keeping children and youth safe in our province. Our final speaker for this afternoon is the co-chair of the Capital Campaign, Ken Talbot.
I'll keep in mind that keeping it brief. I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. All the folks in the back that are probably a little warmer than I am, even up here by the open windows. Thank you very much for your contribution to prayer. Thank you. My name is Ken Talbot. I'm the chair for the Capital Campaign for the Toba Centre. And it's kind of a unique story, and it's a short one, I promise. I was the one that said, you know what, I'm really busy. I've got a new business going together. We're putting a new dealership up. I don't have time to meet with Christy right now. And not now. I had my friend Lorraine McAbor kind of insisting on a meeting. And if anybody knows Lorraine, thank you, Lorraine. That was a great job. Not only did I say, okay, I'll give her half an hour, 4 hours later, she came out of my office and I was agreeing to be the campaign chair. And I made the single largest donation I've ever done. And then got on the phone with my parents who are here today and got them to pony up a whole bunch of money as well. So it was, you've got to spend time with Christy to absolutely feel her infectious passion to want to help kids. And that's what it's all about. That's what this whole thing is about. Our kids deserve better. All of the children deserve better. They deserve more safety, more freedom, more love, more understanding. And you know what? I swear that girl's going to deliver all of it. She is amazing. What she's bringing to this project is fantastic. The Capital Campaign crew and the board in the back, you guys, thank you very much, guys and girls. You're fantastic. With the donation, or with the contribution today, we're about halfway there. So I'm a little shy guy, and I am going to make all your phones ring. I promise you. We are going to get to the 15 and beyond, and we are going to do it really quickly because, as you can see, John Boxstall and his team have already started the construction. So there's no stopping, there's no turning back, there's no cutting corners. This thing's a go. We're in, and we're in together. So Manitoba, be ready. We're coming for you. We love you, and we need you to love us back and help us with this thing and make it amazing, okay? Everybody, have a great day. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. And of course, the real heroes of today are all the board members, the volunteers, and the donors who are also helping make this a reality. So thank you all for coming today, and thanks to all the speakers for being here today. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech. Oh, Christy is saying that we are going to go ahead with a tour. If anybody wants to go on a tour first, they're certainly welcome to. And I believe that all the speakers are going to remain available for questions from the media if there happen to be any.
A couple of weeks ago, there was an announcement of $7.5 billion towards a $30 million expansion of the RWB. That's a 25% contribution. Today, it's a $2 million announcement towards a $15 million expansion. That's a 13.3% contribution. So, can you explain the rationale? Why not another 25%? Why would the RWB get more proportionally than this? Something that serves.
Well, certainly, I just want to, first of all, thank Christy and all of her incredible team, because for the last number of years, we've been working very diligently with them, along with the City of Winnipeg and others who have been involved in this from day one. I think what is not included, what we didn't announce today, yeah, I think part of this as well, Bart, is the ongoing support that we give to the organization in the way of annual. Sorry, yeah. Are you guys off? Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yes.
Okay, so I think, Bart, what we didn't mention here today is the ongoing operational support that we offer to the Toba Centre as well, and that will continue, and that's a very important part of the investment that we make here. And so this isn't about dollars and cents, this is about children. This is about what's doing, I think, something that is just incredible is what all of the people in this room here have done. Many of them have been contributors to the capital campaign itself as well, and I think what you've seen is how supportive people are in the community towards this project, including ourselves, the City of Winnipeg, and all the others here today. And so this is a day, I think, of celebration. Obviously, much more work to do to ensure that we continue to focus on the health and safety of those most vulnerable children in our community. And we will continue to work with Christy and others in the community to make sure that that happens.
Okay, but why not proportionally the same contribution?
Bartley, you know how government works. You know that things go through Treasury Board and all of that sort of thing, and that's the way things are done. But again, I think this is a positive day. I think for the Toba Centre. I think more importantly, it's a positive day for the most vulnerable children in our community, and we are humbled to be a part of that.
How much operating costs are these jobs going to provide?
Is it 800? Yeah, it's $800,000 a year annually.
For how long? Until when?
It's been ongoing for a number of years now, dating back to the start of Snowflake Place, as well as transitioning into to Toba Centre, and we will continue to provide those operating funds.
Questions related to this and questions unrelated to this. Unrelated will do obviously. Related to Christy and
Indigenous children in remote communities.
So how will this funding help? So certainly, I'm going to pass it over to Christy to maybe talk a little bit more about the logistics, but this money today is for the capital campaign to ensure that we can turn this place into an incredibly safe place for children who are the most vulnerable in our society to come have a safe place. We met Duke and Booster, the dogs who are here that will help in all of that. I remember back when I was in Justice, I met Milan, who was the dog involved with victim services at the time. But that's what we want to do. That's part of the whole capital campaign to make this a safe haven for those vulnerable youth to come and be able to express what they have gone through in a very safe way. But Christy, I'll pass it over to you to maybe add on to that.
Hi there. Very good question. In response to your question, I think this is a start. I think we're not naive. This is not a solution for the North. I think what this is, with the partnerships we have, is it's a really good starting point. And we talk about centralizing resources and creating a center of excellence here in Winnipeg. It's going to have a huge impact on some youth from the North. We have children coming in today. 70% of the cases we see at Toba Centre today are coming from the Rcmpd, so outside of Winnipeg, because of Children's Hospital and the like. But I think by getting everybody together under one roof with all the partners that you see, we start talking and collaborating about how best to serve the needs of the North in this type of a way. And so you're likely going to see, you will see over the coming years, different opportunities to expand, whether that's our expansion into other regions or whether it's us supporting additional expansion right within communities run by communities. So this is the start, and it's a really, really important start where we can serve way more children that need us, but we're committed and have been for the last few years through our partnerships to building out those services to make sure it's equitable across the province. Well, if you want a little bit of a history, this is my version of it. This project, I've worked in child protection for 25 years. This project was initially announced in 2007. And there was a lot of barriers to getting a center open. You know, getting systems to work differently and work together could prove very challenging. So a number of very strong leaders in our community, after many, many years of consultation and meetings, some mentioned by the chief earlier, you know, Gord Perry and the like, and other stakeholders came together and they set up what was known as Snowflake Place, where we operate right now out of Portage Avenue. It was set up as a central interviewing model where children could come to a child-friendly environment and be interviewed when they're the subjects of abuse investigations. So we've been working with all of our police partners, WPS, Rcmpd, and others, since that time and performing that service for them. In the last year and a half, we've received additional operating funding from the province, and we've bolstered our supports and the supports we wrap around children and families so that we can do much, much more than just the interview side of it, but we've been grateful to do that. What I will say is at this point, until we get into this space, we can't do a whole lot more. We're at our capacity, so we're grateful for the support that's been provided over the last year to help us increase those services and make sure there's some wraparound care, but we still have a long way to go, and it's why we keep underscoring the urgency of getting this built. It's why we've started building, because a lot changes. We won't solve everything, but it is remarkable how much will change immediately upon us all being together in one space.
Is the Boxall contract tendered or RFP?
RFP'd. Closed RFP. There was bids. I'm a social worker. I should say that first. Yes, there were bids as well. I mean, we're a charitable organization. We hired Boxall, but yeah, there was a tender process. And then number 10 architects is the architect designing the space. Well, John Boxall's not here, right? By February of next year. Yes. 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 You know, everybody knows the urgency, and it is our, you know, John Boxall's taken to saying their finish line is our start line, so they know. And we're working really hard to do that. Our fundraising needs to keep up, but we're committed to doing it, and our goal is to be in before the next fiscal so that we can go back to the province for more $400.
What is the total number of employees?
Well, there'll be our employees, there'll be our volunteers, but it really will be a collective hour. So members of the Winnipeg Child Abuse Unit will be working out of this environment. sort of a mixed, as we decide what that looks like. Members of the RCMP, hopefully First Nations Police, Brandon Police be working out of here. We'll have a physician and a nurse working out of here, so we can provide that wraparound care that will come from other systems. Within our space, we're looking to probably 20 to 24. It'll be an incremental growth as we move in. And this environment also allows us to invite our community in differently. So, you know, if you want to volunteer to help abuse kids, where do you do that right now? Well, this is creating that environment where that can happen.
And the city of Winnipeg is covering, is providing the land and the building?
We've worked with the city to acquire this space. We do have a 20-year lease in a very mutually beneficial arrangement where we're investing a lot of money into this space in exchange for that lease. And we've had a ton of support from municipal accommodations in making that happen.
And is the city covering eating the cost of property tax or taxes in lieu of this space? The annual operating costs of the property tax, services, whatnot, is the city taking care of that, or are they charging it?
I don't know that.
Mr.
It's an
Mayor?
odd question today. Okay. 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 Thank you.